I want to show you how you can change your main menu game logo. Okay, open Sandbox and follow graph from Tools menu. This full screen. Hide unnecessary panels. Okay, you can see two panels at left side, one nodes and one graphs. Node is all follow graph nodes, and graphs is all follow graph modules include your created modules. Material FX subtree is for example blue bullet hill. When AI shoots you, this follow graph module will run. For example, dirt bullet hit is when you shooting at a soil texture or ground, and more. Okay, UI actions is all UI related modules. For example, HUD 3D is your health bar module, and for example AI threat ball and your weapons icons at bottom right you can see in game. HUD 2D is for example weapons crosshairs and fade out screen when you unload level and more. HUD radar is your minimap. Okay, base mains. These modules are for your main menu UI. For example, main is main menu when you open your game executable. You can see, for example, these are two buttons for single player and multiplayer. These are game settings button. These are graphic settings and more. Okay, at end of this nodes you can see main menu, show, logo, and this show logo will shows when you call this function. This will shows default CryEngine logo at top of your menu. So we don't need this. We need to show our logo and game name. So break this link and delete this node. Okay, instead in nodes UI functions main menu add image, click and drag it here. Click connect out call. You need to create a logo for your game and contains your game name. I created a simple logo for game. For example, we need to save our logo. We need to save our logo inside our game SDK libs UI textures folder. You need to create these folders if not exist. Okay, give it a name and remember to save it as TIF format. When you're saving image as TIF format, and the engine will compile it into DDS format. We need that DDS file. The TIF will unused. Okay, save it and in let's minimize it. You can see sandbox where I saved it. Libs UI textures. You can see my logo was saved here. Okay, now sandbox. Okay, the sandbox will compile it into DDS automatically. Now let's head back to our root folder. This is our root engine folder. Into editor, resource cache, libs, UI, textures. You can see our logo was compiled into DDS format. Just move it into your game SDK, libs, UI, textures folder. Okay, we don't need this TIF anymore, so delete it and paste your generated DDS file. Okay, now get back into follow graph and set your created logo path here. Libs, libs, UI, textures, my logo dot DDS. Okay, X and Y is your top and left offset from main menu screen. W and H is your width and height of your logo. For example, my logo is 500 in 200 pixels. Set it here. 500, 200. Okay, set visible to true. This ID we need to set is optional but required somewhere. I tell you. ID game logo. Whenever you want to hide this image from your main menu, you need to use this ID. For example, there is a hide image node here. For example, anywhere you need to hide this image, you need to call this function. And here you need to set and insert your image ID here. For example, this ID. Okay. If you add fade time, your image will hide with fade. For example, Yexicant, 1 second. Okay, we don't need this. Just I tell you what is used for. Okay, let's save our changes. File, save all external graphs. This will save our change. Okay, head back to our root folder and try to test our modifications. Launch game. Right click on your Cry project file and click run game. You can see your logo shows here instead of default CryEngine logo. Okay, we just want to move it some in right direction. So add, for example, 100 offset here and save it and run your game again. Launch game. You can see your game logo moves 100 pixels to right. Okay, but there's one problem here. There is a gray background here. We don't want this gray background. So what we do, I tell you. Let's go back into your labs, UI, textures folder. You can see this created logo. Just delete it. We don't need this. We must use Photoshop for creating our transparent background. For example, I created a new logo in Photoshop. Just use quick selection tool and drag on your created logo. Okay, this will select your logo. Remember, your background need to be transparent. Okay, move to channels, and here save selections, save selection as channel. Click it. You can see alpha were created. If we hide this, you can see this is our alpha mask. This alpha mask used in engine for hiding background. Let's save a copy. You need install CryTIF plugin. You can find in documentation to how you can save. You can install CryTIF plugin. Okay, we choose and we save it in our GameSDK live UI texture folder. My new logo. That CryEngine. Okay, alpha channels tick should be ticked. Save. The CryEngine plugin will show up. You can see. Okay, save it as user interface lossless or compressed. We choose lossless to prevent from losing our logo quality. Okay. Thailand RGB. Okay. 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 Mm, okay. Just click generate output. This will generate your DDS file. Here you can see my new logo DDS generated with transparent background, and this is our TIF file. We don't need this after creating. Okay, click OK. Now move back into follow graph and my change it to my new logo or your created logo, my new logo. Okay, let's save it again. Save all external graphs, minimize and head back to your root folder and test it again. Launch game. Oh, you can see your background was clear. Single player, multiplayer, and more. After you done everything, you can place modified files and your texture into game data.py archive. Thanks for watching.